fight's not over.
Stop the fight!
People.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody. Ah!
What's up, guys? It's Lane with Broke Bets here, back with our full card picks for Vera versus Cruz. But first, we're going to get into Santos versus Hill, our betting recap, and some of our picks here. But I'll look for the time markers in the comments or the description if you want to skip ahead and kind of see where those were at. Let's get into this. So, we went 7 for 10 on our picks. The only fights we got wrong were Luque, Walker, and Pauga. And, which sucks is those are the ones we actually had money on compared to most of the other ones. But, surprisingly, a lot of finishes on card can be really hard for betting because, just if you're ever playing rounds, overs, you're just screwed. So, let's just get into the first pick. Let's go into Walker. We lost 2.71 units this week, which isn't great, but especially with 5.1 unit in total bets. But Walker here, man, I made such a big mistake. She had such a low fight IQ, and I followed the same problem, man. I trusted somebody who doesn't have that full experience or skill level, and I said in the pull card pick predictions video that Julianne Miller gets her takedowns by body locks and trips, and Brogan Walker moved herself into those. She initiated a clinch, she walked into those body locks and takedowns, and it was so hard to watch. She didn't try to get up. She didn't use her stand-up when she was doing well. That was just like kissing away money. That was bad. Can't make that mistake anymore. Can't bet these low-level women's MMA fights. And also a rule, I think we gotta stop betting low-level heavyweight fights, because here we lost on Pauga. That was a rough one to watch as well, because he was winning the fight. The first round was pretty clear-cut him. Round 2 comes around, and man, it was the shortest left hook ever. Like, it was so short, I guess he just didn't see it. It slept him so bad. And the weird part is, man, Usman's not even sleeping people. He technically has power because he's kind of like just roided to the gills, and he just looks huge, and his arms have a lot of mass behind him. But like, he didn't knock out his 2 tough fighters, and he finally knocked out Pauga. But like, man, it was just a short left hook, and it dropped him instantly, and boom, money gone. And I mean, obviously Quinlan's thing, you even lost chance at a good profit here. I was thinking about cashing out. I really should have. Anyway, that was frustrating. You got to stop betting tough or low-level people, man. That was rough. Then we had Carson's parlay, man. Hair, absolute cash. We had Spivak, easy, ground and pound. Should have gotten his 50K. He deserved it. Then we got Hill. That was a humbling fight for him. Definitely, I think Santos could have stayed on the feet without the wrestling, because he just knew that was going to tire himself out. He was doing well with the kicks and stuff on the feet. And a humbling fight for Hill. When he doesn't go first, he struggles. Or when he has to go first, he struggles. He's more of a counterpuncher. Ola Jacek, easiest win ever. Sam Alvey, smiling because he's concussed. And then moving down here, we got a very, very unfortunate bet here. Luque versus Neal over 2.5 rounds. We were 30 seconds away from that. And boom. It's going to happen, and obviously it could have been like 1 second, which would have been really bad. But Luque just couldn't get his head off the center line, and Neal's left hand was just pounding him. He was just sitting in front of his left hand, getting hurt every single time. And man, that was a struggling one to watch, but we already knew we were losing at that point, and I was already a little annoyed. But moving down further, we got Brian Battle versus Takashi Sato. Man, a fast head kick, and no one saw that coming. I think most people thought that Sato would have the striking power advantage, and boom, flatlined him. And that was a beautiful head kick KO. You don't see people go that stiff immediately. And then, obviously, just destroyed that parlay with McKinney's round 1, which was fast. But yeah, these were our bets. I think there are still some high points, but the lesson learned obviously is stay away from low levels low-level fights and don't force them bets with these low-level people. You don't need to pile them on. So, without further ado, let's get into the picks. Okay, for the first fight of the night, we revisit the Jason Witt versus Josh Quinlan fight. This got canceled this weekend, and they're pushing it off to the next weekend. So we've already made our prediction. It was Josh by KO, but he had some substance. Do you know what it was?
I have no idea, but he's on the roid, so I'm predicting a knockout here.
Yeah, if there's a guy on the roids and a guy off the roids, you pick the guy on the roids. That's why
of course.
You always got to pick Izzy, I guess. But I don't know.
Not against Pereira, though.
Not against Pereira. I don't know. I don't know if this was he already got busted for steroids. That's why his last fight was a no contest. So I'm not sure if that's just still in his system from before or what. But yeah, it's not like a week's gonna change how inflated you are or how strong you are. So I read that it said he still had within USADA's rules a legal amount in it. So I don't know why it was moved, but anyway. Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Quinlan by KO, especially the day of. It's just weird.
Yeah.
And it fucks up with betting and stuff, like my Pauga ones left. Okay, for the next fight, we have Youssef Zalal versus Damon Blackshear. I'm not sure if it's Damon or Damon. I don't know what the hell. In this fight, I'm into a Zalal. I watched some of Damon's previous fights. He's actually pretty good, but Zalal, you might think he's on a losing streak, but I think, what are some of his losses here?
Yeah, he's lost 3 straight, but the losses are to Poirier, Wu Choi, and Sean Woodson, so 3 top-level guys here.
Yeah, especially for that division. He had a very good win against Austin Lingo. That was maybe 2 years ago, but he's been very active, and he's also very young. And what you'll notice about this kid's game is that he's got good stand-up, pretty good defensive stand-up, and he's got 3-round cardio, and especially with these young losses, losing in your early 20s is not really a bad thing on my books, and he's mixed in his wrestling when he needs it. I don't see this fight going to the ground. I've seen Blackshear go to the ground before, and actually do okay. He did get controlled by Danny Sabatello in his one loss 5 fights ago, but that's Danny Sabatello. In Bellator, he's taking down everyone, so it's not a shock. I don't expect Zalal to take him down here. I just expect a stand-up fight, and I'm thinking Zalal by decision. Keeps range, uses his footwork, and gets this job done.
Yeah, and Zalal is the only guy to go to a decision with Poirier.
Oh,
Poirier's knocked out or submitted every one of his opponents.
And Poirier had some close submission attempts on Zalal, and he just slipped out of them, and he just kept fighting him. He wouldn't tap to anything, so he's got heart behind it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for our next fight, we have Ode Osbourne versus Tyson Nam. Who do you like here?
Yeah, we're going with, Ode Osbourne.
The Milwaukee man, the Jamaican sensation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a teacher.
Yeah, a lot of those guys got part-time jobs. I guess it's the fill-in. But I think, for one, age stands out in this fight. Ode Osbourne's got an 8-year age difference, and I think he continuously is getting a little bit better performances as he goes, even though he's had some quick losses.
He seems to be getting in his prime, and Nam seems to be headed out of his prime.
Yeah, and Tyson Nam's a guy, I've probably seen a bunch of his fights before, but I don't remember hardly any of his fights at the same time because he is not a high action person. His fights aren't really crazy. He had one really good KO against Zauregui Adeshev as well. But other than that, he really isn't a crazy fighter. He doesn't have high volume striking. Doesn't have great timing on takedowns, and Ode is already a wrestler, so you don't see it playing out there. And I see this playing out on the feet for the most part. And I don't know if I'm thinking KO or submission here or KO or decision here for Ode. It's one of the two.
You can make that call.
I'd say it's a decision. I mean, if Kaikar France went to a decision with Tyson Nam, I would assume that Ode's got a little bit less power than Kai, in my opinion. But I expect Ode just to be a faster fighter here, younger fighter, and Tyson's kind of on his way out here, so we'll do Osbourne by decision. Will you bet this one? Parlay it?
Yeah, I'll probably have him in a parlay, yeah.
I think he's like minus 200 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, for our next fight, we have Yazmin Jauregui versus Iasmin Lucindo. In this one, the favorite, I'm surprised she's not a bigger favorite here. We're going with the Yazmin. I've watched quite a few of her regional fights, and oh my god, she's fast. In and out of range. She's also super young, and coming up, I mean, both these girls are young, but she is in and out of range, great kickboxing. If I had to, say a UFC comparison, in a way, I would say that Emily Ducote girl that beat Jessica Penne the other week. Very fast, short punches, efficient.
And her punches do damage.
Yeah.
They wear on her opponents.
I'm picking knockout for Yazmin in this one. She was just hammering people, and Iasmin, on the other hand, hasn't faced any competition. You want to read off some of the names there, or the records?
8-3, 1-2, 2-1-2, 9-3, 0-0, 2-2, 0-4, 4-3, 1-1.
Yeah, it's a very shaky record. Records of a competition. I know she's young, but just from watching her film and her fights, she relies on just people with no grappling to win. So she'll have no great striking exchanges, and then she'll get one takedown and be in full mount and beat the other girl up.
Yeah, and Yazmin has good takedown defense. She's got really nice knees and elbows in the clinch as well.
Exactly. So I don't see Iasmin getting this fight to the ground. I truly do think Yazmin's going to get the knockout here. I might play that prop because it'll probably be messed up because the books don't know about these girls too much. But yeah, Yazmin KO round 1. Okay, for our next fight, we have Gabriel Benitez versus Charlie Ontiveros. The records are kind of strange here for this fight, but the fight makes actually some sense. Gabriel Benitez, I got to pick him to win here. I'm a little bit in disagreement of why he's such a big favorite, but Charlie Ontiveros also isn't that good. Gabriel Benitez, his main attributes is his southpaw stance with his kicking game. When he fights orthodox fighters, he loves to just hammer the inside leg kick, and I think since he's facing Charlie, who's a southpaw fighter, kind of in a karate stance, which sets up leg kicks, that Benitez here is just going to chew up the lead leg and maybe even mix in some head kicks. He also mixes in great body work, but the downside to Benitez is his chin. He's gotten it taken away from a few people. I think Sadiq Youssef got him, yeah, and Billy Quarantillo hammered him out, and David Onama really slept him bad. But overall, I mean, if he had a better chin, I'd really like his game a little bit more here. But Charlie Ontiveros on the other side, lackluster is what I'd say. I won't take away that Kevin Holland loss for him because he was way smaller than Holland in that matchup. But his Steve Garcia loss looks horrible. I watched another one of his regional fights where he got kneed to the body once, and he called off the fight by himself, and the ref didn't know what the fuck was going on, and the other dude beat the fuck out of him. So, I mean, Charlie's thing is he likes to stand up in that karate stance. He likes to throw wild kicks, but I think the more technical side in Benitez here is going to find a knockout. I've seen Ontiveros quit before, and I think that it's going to happen. I'm going to say round 2. Give him a little bit of time. Okay, for our next matchup, we have Lukasz Brzeski versus Martin Buday, Who do you like here, dude?
I'm liking Martin Buday here. I think he's well, I don't think. I know he's going to be the heavier fighter here, and I think he will be able to wear on him on the clinch.
I thought you were about to say future heavyweight champion, and I was going to say, what the hell are you talking about? But
well, I mean, he might be.
I don't think so. But yeah, I see this fight the same way you do. It's going to be Buday's game, man, is just getting people onto the fence and wearing them down. He did it with Chris Barnett. He did it in his Contender Series fight. And Brzeski, very, very slow striking. I watched some of his stuff. The dude's hands are not fast. Not very impressive to me. And I think that Buday here will match his speed. They're both slow. And as soon as it gets on that fence, it's just going to be... It'll be like watching Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 2. It's just the weight advantage, him putting his weight on him, using the knees, just wearing him down. And I'm thinking this could be like a grueling 3 rounds for Brzeski. It might fall to the ground once or twice. Who knows? But, yeah, I got to stick with Buday here. Size advantage is a big deal in heavyweight divisions, in my opinion. So, you have a parlay with this one, right? It's,
yes, sir.
Bruno Silva.
Buday.
Yeah. Okay, for our next fight, we have Ariane Lipski versus Priscila Cachoeiora. We're sticking with the Twina violence like we did last week. Not big on this girl, not big on the fight. Like, pretty much my reasoning behind it last week was just that I think Ariane is going to have the Muay Thai stand-up, and Priscilla's more of like a blitzer. She'll put herself in danger, hence the zombie girl. And I think Lipski has a chance to take this to the ground and control it there. So I'm just going to keep that basic. But do you want to mention why she missed the fight last week?
'Cause she's too good looking.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, she was overweight.
I think she missed by like 1.5 pounds or something, so I don't know why she was... I think she was not medically cleared. She must have been doing rough after the weight cut, so they're probably just going to give her an extra week.
Yeah, she did look like a zombie on the scale.
And oh, God. Yeah, I think she'll just head in the next week. They'll give her another week to lose a little bit more fat or whatever and get into the fight. But yeah, decision. Nothing crazy here. Okay, for the next fight, we have Angela Hill versus Lupita Godinez. We're going with Lupita Godinez here, and mainly it's the wrestling advantage. Angela Hill's got okay wrestling, but she's also not the best anywhere. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the wrestling will be a big part. In Angela Hill's last fight against Verona Jandiroba, I mean, we both thought that she would be able to hang around on the ground, but that was unfortunately not the case. So, yeah, I'm thinking Godinez will be able to dominate her on the ground.
Yeah, she's got a better wrestling game. I think, I can't remember the fight super clearly, but it was like Virna took her down a couple times to secure rounds. And I think Lupita's got better wrestling in general. I mean, her last fight against Carnelossi, who had also terrible takedown defense. She just absolutely mauled that girl. It's gonna be a little bit hard. It's definitely gonna be a harder fight for Lupita here, but I feel pretty confident that she's gonna get the decision here, and I think I'm gonna play that prop actually. Anything else from you?
I'm staying away from women's fights betting wise.
Fair. I mean, I'll see what happens. I'll see what I looks good out on the apps, but I don't know. Angela Hill's record and her ability not to win decisions is just kind of...
you can't trust her.
She's losing by decision, you know. It's just kind of how I think I'd bet this.
Yeah.
Okay, for the next fight, we have David Onama versus Nate Landwehr. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm liking David Onama here, but it is kind of worrisome that he just fought a month ago and he's coming in here on short notice. Not sure how his weight will be and how his cardio will hold up.
I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of his last performance. We picked him to beat Garrett Armfield Armbar. He actually kind of was, I wouldn't say losing round 1, but he didn't actually do that well in round 1. And then round 2, he was just so much bigger than him that he was able to take him down and submit him. Nate, on the other hand, I think he's horrible in round 1 from like all of his performances I've seen. And this guy gets knocked out by knees a lot. I mean, it's been twice, but got flying kneed by Julian Erosa and knocked out by Herbert Burns from a knee. I think we're going to see a pattern here. I think David's going to catch him with a knee. But to be honest, I think that Nate is a super good live bet here if this goes into round 2 or 3. I think if we watch round 1, I think Onama's going to win it pretty clearly. He can get pretty technical, and James Krause, I think, will sharpen his skills a little bit better this week. But when he uses his straight punches, he looks great. When he throws wild hooks, he looks horrible, kind of like Kamaru Usman. But Nate, I think if it gets into round 2 and Onama's looking a little tired, Nate might wear on him, and after round 1, odds will go like giant favorite for Onama. And that's your time to hop on that live odd. So I'm just keeping that in mind. But do you like a knockout here?
Yeah, I mean, I can see Onama getting him in round 1.
Yeah, that's where he's best. So I'm thinking Onama by a knee. Actually, I think the pattern's going to continue. He likes to throw a little close in knees sometimes. So we'll do Onama KO round 1. Okay, for the next fight, we have Nina Nunes versus Cynthia Calvillo. This is a rescheduled fight again. We've already broke this one down, of course. And I don't know. I didn't like Cynthia Calvillo's heart in her last fights. That's why I picked Nina Nunes last time. I'm still going to stick with her. I can't remember why this one got rescheduled. I think there must have been some weight cut problem or something. I don't really care, to be honest. But yeah, I think Nina might have a little bit more heart. It's going to be a close fight either way, and I'll just take her by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Gerald Meerschaert versus Bruno Silva. Who do you like here? I wonder.
Yeah, Bruno Silva. Round 1 KO.
Bruno. Yeah, I mean, I've said it in a previous video where we broke down Meerschaert. Nothing in his game impresses me. He kind of got this weird string of wins because dudes were hitting him so much in the face in the first round. They got tired. They're like, oh man, this is getting tiring, just hitting this guy in the face. They get exhausted, and they get taken down and choked out by him or whatever, you know. Like I said, he moves like a sloth before. I've said that before. And I think Bruno here, I mean, his last performance against Pereira looked great in hindsight. I mean...
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he won one of the rounds.
He did, I think.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And
I think it was close or tied 1-1 going into the third, and then Pereira pulled away.
He ate a bunch of the left hooks too from Pereira, which is extremely impressive. And he hits hard. Bruno hits really hard. I mean, he sleeps like everyone. Obviously besides Pereira, that's me hard to do. His Jordan Wright one, he got blitzed, and then he just smacked the dude down. But we got him in 2 parlays. You got him in Buday, and I have him with someone else coming up. But yeah, I think this is the one people should bet, and I think his line changed a lot. I think he was like minus 160, and now he's like minus 260. It's changed a lot. But yeah, Silva, KO round 1. Okay, for our next fight, we have Devin Clark versus Azamat Murzakanov. We're going with Azamat here. I don't think his record actually says how good he is. I don't think he's undefeated caliber, but I don't think Devin Clark's also the guy to take him out of this, so I'm going to stay with Azamat here. How many wins has he got by knockout there?
Most of his wins are knockout. He has 2 decisions and looks like 1 arm triangle choke.
Yeah, he
So most by knockout.
he hits hard. Which round do you think? Round 1, 2?
Thinking 2.
Yeah, he might piece him up a little bit. Devin takes some damage. Oh. But yeah, Azamat, he's got like an interesting style. I actually think that it would be better if he lost some weight and found himself in middleweight. But I guess he's got the speed advantage in light heavyweight. He had trouble dealing with Tafan and Chukwi's reach for a little bit. I think Tafan would just throw some down the pipe and he couldn't get out of the way of him. But he's very in and out fast in range. He doesn't really use a ton of jabs or anything, but his footwork's really good. He's always on his toes. He'll bounce in and out of range. And he's got enough. I think his takedown defense will hold up here versus Devin Clark. Devin Clark's really not the best at takedowns. He kind of just gets on people on the fence, and I just see that that's his only way really of getting Azamat down. But even his last win against Devin Clark really wasn't impressive. And Kute Bala win or loss, he got beat up pretty bad in. I think he's going down here. So I got Azamat and Bruno Silva together. That's one of my parlays. So you got any other thoughts here?
Nope.
Okay, for the main event we have Marlon Chito Vera versus Dominick Cruz. We're sticking with the man who had an amazing fight. I almost said Cruz. Vera. What do you like here about Vera?
Yeah, I'm high on Chito Vera. I think he'll be able to establish his leg kicks here. I think he'll lose round 1 because he tends to start a little slow, feels out the fight a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, I think he'll be able to find the leg kicks and slow Cruz down from all his movement and then piece him up.
I believe in his last couple fights, he's lost the first round. Font.
Yeah.
I actually remember sending you a message after the Font first round. I go, that was a pretty good round for Cheeto. He actually just chopped the leg a little bit and was getting in range. And then he kicked Font's ass for the rest of the fight. So that was pretty awesome. The Frankie Edgar win, he lost the first round to Frankie's wrestling. I think in the Davey Grant one, too, he just lacked the aggression. So, yeah, he's probably going to drop round 1. And for that reason, I think he's going to need a knockout more. He's going to need to get after it. I'm thinking round 3. Do you like that number?
Yeah, I'm liking round 3.
Because Dom is very good at getting in and out of range, and that's kind of his thing. He got hit pretty hard by Munoz in the first round, and Munoz fades, though, a little bit as the fight goes on, whereas Dom kind of stays the same the whole fight. I think Cheeto's got hella good gas tank, and I think he's got 3-round cardio. So I like Cheeto to get the knockout here, but the Casey Kenny fight was also super close for Dom. Do you I think that Cruz, if you betting him by decision is the only way to play it.
Yeah, I don't see Cruz knocking Cheeto out.
Yeah, so I expect here Vera to put on another crazy fight. I expect this to be a pretty heavy blitzes at each other. Obviously, first round Cruz, and then all Cheeto from there on out.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Cheeto. He's really entertaining.
Yes, sir.
And this is his second main event in a row.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys like our picks. Check out that Instagram. We'll always send out them bets out there. You can expect a bets video, I would say, by Thursday when the full props come out. And like, subscribe, comment. Keep doing the damn thing, and peace.